Extraterrestrial, American citizenship. Surely you've heard of Area 51, located about 134 kilometers northwest of Las Vegas, USA, and adjacent to the Groom Lake in Lincoln County, southern Nevada. It's a remote desert region, and Area 51 is considered the most secretive piece of land in the United States. According to popular belief, UFO landings, alien abductions, and secret agreements between the US government and extraterrestrial beings are all thought to have occurred at Area 51. In July 2013, some of these suspicions from the outside world were validated. The National Security Archive at the University of Washington in the United States released declassified CIA information on the same day, marking the first acknowledgement that there was a secret military base at Area 51. The disclosed information confirmed that this clandestine location was used to test various types of reconnaissance aircraft, including the famous U-2 spy plane. So what does this secret base have to do with extraterrestrials? Here are some secrets revealed by a few renowned scientists who have worked within the US government and military. Scientists in Area 51 have disclosed that extraterrestrial beings have become citizens of the United States. Mr. Boyd Bushman, a senior scientist who once worked for Lockheed Martin Corp in the United States, a renowned company headquartered in Maryland, on the eastern coast of the US. This company has manufacturing facilities in Connecticut, California, Canada, Australia, and many other locations. It is the world's largest weapons manufacturer and also the top defense contractor for the US Department of Defense. Mr. Boyd Bushman worked for the company for over 40 years. Mr. Bushman was born in Arizona, USA, in July 1936. Before retiring, he held a senior engineering position at Lockheed Martin and held 28 patents in his name, including adjustable angle magnetic drive, electronic radiation detection and jamming devices, aerodynamic wing and airframe design, and many others. So, what incredible story does an experienced and well-established scientist want to disclose to everyone? Mr. Bushman recounted that in 1947, a U.S. Air Force pilot shot down a flying saucer in New Mexico, resulting in casualties among some extraterrestrial beings. The U.S. military retrieved that flying saucer. Some analysts believe this should allude to the famous Roswell UFO incident. Mr. Bushman stated that the extraterrestrials then collaborated with the U.S. government and military in the secretive Area 51. 18 extraterrestrial beings crossed the citizenship barrier and became U.S. citizens to work for the U.S. government. Bushman's remarks are akin to sprinkling a handful of salt into a boiling pot of water, causing fervent excitement among all UFO enthusiasts. It turns out that extraterrestrial beings not only exist, but are also covertly masquerading as humans, working and living here on Earth. So, what do these extraterrestrial beings look like? Bushman further describes, they come from a planet 68 light-years away from Earth, and their planet is called the Quintumnia star. Their spacecraft can travel 68 light-years from their planet to Earth in just 48 minutes. They stand at 1.5 meters tall, with the oldest among them being 230 years old. They also have 5 fingers, but they are proportionally longer by over 30% compared to our own. Their toes are fused together, with 3 ribs and 3 vertebrae on each side. These extraterrestrial beings communicate through telepathy, similar to the concept of mind reading in legends or the kind of mentalism you might have seen. Furthermore, Mr. Bushman mentioned that Area 51 also collaborated with Russia and China on research into anti-gravity technology. To put it plainly, anti-gravity technology means it is not constrained by Earth's gravitational force, similar to what we've heard about humans or objects having the ability to fly without external assistance. Extraterrestrial spacecraft can swiftly maneuver through the skies or remain silent in the air, which is linked to this anti-gravity technology. Just consider, through the information Mr. Bushman disclosed, extraterrestrial spacecraft capable of moving faster than the speed of light, with the ability to read thoughts and live for over 200 years, unaffected by Earth's gravitational force. Could each of these revelations potentially disrupt our understanding of science? While some alien races may appear daunting, their technology could leave modern humanity astounded. Many find it challenging to accept that such possibilities could exist. Mr. Bushman passed away on August 7, 2014, and all of his information was disclosed to aerospace designer Mark Key Patterson before his passing. Mr. Bushman also provided Patterson with many photographs. Patterson uploaded an interview video to YouTube in October 2014. This caused quite a stir, and skeptics captured images of Mr. Bushman's extraterrestrial photos and even conducted heated interrogations. Mr. Bushman recounted a time when he handed his camera to an extraterrestrial friend and asked them to take some photos while on a journey among the stars in a UFO. However, most of these photos turned out blurry, and even skeptics had to concede that capturing clear images during high-speed flight faster than the speed of light was impossible. People genuinely couldn't think of any reason to believe that Mr. Bushman had to report false information before his passing. At this point, creating sensational advertising stunts for the famous seemed to make little sense. Mr. Bushman's actions were simply about wanting to disclose secrets before closing his eyes, rather than burying them in a coffin. It's akin to confessing to a priest before dying. They speak out about their own secrets to seek forgiveness from a higher power and relieve their conscience. Some familiar with the military have pointed out the history of Lockheed Martin's Advanced Development Project. The development history of Skunk Works seems somewhat mysterious. In the early 1950s, Skunk Works was still a little-known aircraft factory until it received an order from the Central Intelligence Agency in 1955 to build a reconnaissance aircraft called the U-2. The Skunk Works facility went on to develop several groundbreaking aircraft, including the SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance plane and the F-22 Raptor fighter jet. Skunk Works achieved breakthroughs in materials, design, and functionality. Now, the Wikipedia description of the Skunk Works facility includes a sentence like this: "The Skunk Works facility managed to overcome technical limitations to unveil incredibly remarkable aircraft with limited time and resources." It can be summarized like this: the Roswell UFO incident occurred in 1947. Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works facility began pioneering technology in 1955. The aircraft testing site is the mysterious Area 51. Mr. Bushman, a senior scientist at Lockheed Martin, shared news before his passing that extraterrestrials have provided technical support to the United States. Do you feel that the events behind this sequence are anything but straightforward, don't you? 490-year-old extraterrestrial working for the U.S. government. Coincidentally, another American geologist and engineer, Phil Schneider, also claimed to have been involved in a secret project involving collaboration between the U.S. government and extraterrestrials. He stated that he had seen extraterrestrial beings as well. Phil Schneider was born on April 23, 1943, in Maryland, USA, and passed away in January 1996. He was a geologist and engineer who worked for the U.S. government, involved in constructing underground military bases in the United States, DUNBS, and working at the famous Area 51. Phil Schneider claimed to have seen an extraterrestrial being named Valiant Thor and presented a photograph of Thor during a speech in 1995. This photograph was taken in 1943. Mr. Phil Schneider stated that Thor had been working with the U.S. military since 1937 and hailed from the planet Venus. He appeared to have a humanoid appearance, but there were some physiological differences compared to humans. Each of his hands had 6 fingers, a gigantic heart, a huge lung, and his blood contained copper oxide, similar to octopuses, giving his blood a likely blue color. His estimated IQ was 1,200, higher than that of humans, and he could fluently speak 100 languages, including extraterrestrial languages. Mr. Schneider also mentioned that Thor's age was 490 years. The extraterrestrial beings introduced by Schneider and the ones mentioned by Bushman came from different planets and had significantly different appearances, but they all shared a commonality: possessing highly advanced technological capabilities far beyond those of humans. Phil Schneider's disclosure about Thor was corroborated by a third party, Dr. Frank Stranges, the author of Stranger at the Pentagon, who also claimed to have met Thor. Dr. Stranges described Thor as approximately 1.8 meters tall, weighing 84 kilograms, with brown curly hair and brown eyes. Both President Eisenhower and President Nixon had reportedly met Thor. Dr. Stranges mentioned that Thor departed from Earth on the morning of June 13, 1960, aboard a spacecraft from Alexandria, Virginia. Former U.S. government advisor Timothy Good has comfortably shared what he knows about extraterrestrials, also stating that President Eisenhower had witnessed extraterrestrial beings. It's not just them. Another member of the U.S. military confirmed the collaboration between extraterrestrials and the U.S. military. Not only did they collaborate, but the U.S. military even took their extraterrestrial counterparts to enjoy at the casino. Charles Hall is a nuclear physicist who worked as a military weatherman in the U.S. military. He claimed that since the 1950s, the U.S. military had been in contact with tall, white-skinned extraterrestrial beings who resemble Thor, and they worked together. Mr. Hall stated that in the 1960s, some extraterrestrial beings had human-like heads and white skin, preferred wearing regular clothes and sunglasses. They came to Las Vegas along with CIA personnel. It was said that these extraterrestrials enjoyed casinos like Stardust. Mr. Hall believed that the U.S. military used technology to engage in transactions with extraterrestrials. He said, "In 1964, I was a weather observer at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. I witnessed interactions between the military and a mysterious group of extraterrestrial beings who were tall, white-skinned, and appeared somewhat human. Their spacecraft exceeded the speed of light." Mr. Hall worked at an old military base near Las Vegas. He stated that many people there had seen and interacted with tall, white extraterrestrial beings. However, this base has since been abandoned. When you encounter those tall, white extraterrestrials, you'll be very frightened because you won't know if you're meeting a ghost or an angel, and you might even think you're dreaming, Mr. Hall said. He also wrote a book about his experiences titled Millennial Hospitality. Although it was published as fiction, he revealed that the content in the book is true. What did the President of the United States say? In addition to scientists and military personnel involved in research, the President of the United States, in their capacity as the Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, would naturally have access to some top-secret information. Therefore, the attitudes of various presidents toward extraterrestrial beings could also be used as reference material. Former President Clinton, not surprised by visits from extraterrestrials. Former U.S. President Clinton declared on April 2, 2014, that he believes in the existence of extraterrestrial life and wouldn't be surprised if they were to one day appear on Earth. In an exclusive interview on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live late-night talk show, Clinton revealed that during his presidency, he ordered an investigation into records of extraterrestrial visits at Area 51 and Roswell in New Mexico. He stated that investigations at both locations didn't yield any results, but that doesn't necessarily mean that humans are the only intelligent life forms in the universe. Former President Obama openly acknowledged the secret Area 51. According to the U.S. press, former President of the United States Barack Obama acknowledged Area 51 on December 8, 2013, becoming the first president to discuss this topic. Former President Donald Trump, "I know some interesting things." On June 18, 2020, when his son asked him about aliens, the president said, "Thousands of people want to go there and want to see it, aliens. Roswell is a very interesting place. A lot of people would like to know what's going on. As far as you're concerned, I won't talk to you about what I know, but I think it's very interesting." On June 18, 2020, when his son asked him about aliens, the president said, "Thousands of people want to go there and want to see it, aliens. Roswell is a very interesting place. A lot of people would like to know what's going on. As far as you're concerned, I won't talk to you about what I know, but I think it's very interesting."